Say, friends, do you have more money than sense? Is your wallet bursting at the seams and you have nothing to do with it? Tired of burning it in the fireplace or throwing it overboard your super yacht? Well, how about if I gave you a mediocre ship that's about as good as several ships in the sea store, but I charged you $200 for it? No? No takers? Well, what if I said it was a Section 31 ship and that it had a combat cloak, a battle cloak, and it also had a hangar bay? Yeah, it has a hangar. What about now? Would you want to buy it now? Okay, so the newest promo ship is here. It is the Section 31 Intel Dreadnought Cruiser, and people have been making comparisons to the legendary Galaxy X. My comparison of choice is the legendary Scimitar. Either way, there are C-store ships that basically offer you the same thing. Why is that? Well, it is a full Intel ship, so it has a commander Intel, and it has a secondary command seat. So Intel primary, command secondary. And it has a hangar bay, and it's basically, well, it is a Dreadnought. So those comparisons are apt. Also, the Intel Juggernaut that just came out. There's quite a few ships. If you watch Spencer's video on this, he had a little spreadsheet up of some of the alternatives. Some of them cheaper, some of them about the same price. Before we even look at the stats here, though, I just want to remind everyone that predatory gambling is evil. And this is predatory gambling, in my opinion. And even though I have a promo choice box because I got a lucky one a few years ago and it just rots in my account bank, I'm trying to decide whether I even want to review this. Maybe I can get my hands on it on Tribble, maybe not, but maybe I just protest and don't even review it at all. But people are going to want to get it, so let's go ahead and take a look at the stats. So it has a shield modifier of 1.25, a hull modifier of 1.55, those are pretty high. 4-4 weapon layout, not the end of the world. If you want to do beams or if you want to do torpedoes or whatever, you could put concentrate firepower 3 on it. It has a lieutenant commander tactical, an ensign engineering, which is a bit awkward. It has a commander engineering intel. It has a lieutenant commander science/command, so your command and science seating are fighting with each other. You do have a lieutenant universal here you could use for some more science stuff, though. I do think this ensign engineering sticks out like a sore thumb. In the past, it wouldn't have been so bad because if you're using intel powers on the command seat, you might want a couple more engineering slots back when everyone was doing aux to bat. So aux to bat would be a little bit more comfortable on this ship. But if you're using Boimler or Photonic Officer or something, then it's going to feel like a bit of a waste. Turn rate of 6.5, that's really low, so it's going to be hard to turn. Inertia 35. It comes with a new console, the invasive control mechanisms. It has a battle cloak. The Section 31 ships, their cloak isn't called a cloak, it's called dark mode, and the battle cloak variant that they're introducing now is called the combat variant of that, but it's basically just a battle cloak. It has swarm mode, which we've seen from the Section 31 Command Heavy Battle Cruiser, so this ship will have it as well. Probably the biggest selling point, to be honest, but you may be like me and you already have the Section 31 Command Heavy Battle Cruiser, in which case you already have access to that mechanic. It has a hangar bay with Section 31 drone swarms. They didn't really, it may have been updated since I opened the blog earlier. They didn't have any information about these on here, but on Twitter they did say that it would have, they're basically squadron fighters, and they're going to have surgical strikes. It is a full Intel ship, so it gets warp signature masking, which just means you can get a little bit closer to your targets before they will notice you on that 10-kilometer range there. It has the full Intel stuff, the gather Intel and all that, which was just buffed if you watched the video that I did yesterday, I think, about that. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that's at the end cards there, so you can click and watch that if you haven't been updated on the Intel update. And then it has some cruiser commands, because it is a Dreadnought Cruiser, so it gets a tracked fire for tanking and weapon system efficiency for energy weapons. I would not advise tanking on this. You could run Suppression Barrage 1, but that's going to still be worse than Suppression Barrage 3. I don't think tanking really suits this ship. It is technically possible. But if you're doing normal and advanced content, you don't need a tank anyway. It has a Dreadnought Cruiser Mastery Package, including a new trait, Interference Drones. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. I usually don't care about the Admiralty stats. Okay, Console Universal Invasive Control Mechanisms. And what does it do? It provides a passive boost to Starship stealth and auxiliary power, as well as providing bonuses to maneuverability while under any cloaking effect. It's a bit niche and probably not too useful. Launch up to 8 projectiles over the course of 4 seconds. Each seeks out a different foe in your forward arc, max 1 per foe. So if you don't have at least 4, or 8, I should say, if you don't have at least 8 foes in front of you, you're going to lose some of the potency of this. But if you time it correctly, you should be able to get 8 foes, depending on the content you're doing. To each foe hit, kinetic damage and confused for up to 15 seconds. While confused, electrical damage each second. Control expertise skill extends the duration of the confuse, and the linked electrical damage over time. And that's a bit interesting that the electrical damage will scale off of control expertise and not EPG, but I think most ships are a lot more likely to have extra control expertise than they are EPG, so it's possible you're going to get decent damage out of it with a relatively normal control expertise type setup. But the damage, it does so many other things, I don't think the damage will be all that great. It's probably just a little extra there. I don't have high hopes for that console, to be honest. Starship trait, Interference Drones. Your ship's hangars are outfitted with fleets of tiny drones designed to interfere with incoming fire and distract enemy targeting sensors. From what I know of those hangar pets, they do not have any kind of taunting ability, but again, we haven't seen the full details on that, or at least I haven't, and they didn't include it in the blog. But what does the trait actually do? When launching hangar pets, temporary hit points for 15 seconds. While you have temporary hit points from any source, your pets, excluding targetable torpedoes, anomalies, mines, and similar, will get 33% all damage, which is not that great, to be honest. Dark mode combat variant, so this is the battle cloak it comes with, gives you stealth to your ship but lowers your shields. The special variant can be activated while in combat. Then we have an innate ability swarm mode. When activated, hundreds of fighter vessels will pour out from your ship and fire on anything hostile that approaches you. A number of these drones will frequently peel off from the main swarm to attack larger vessels that approach you. And it will increase your ship's maneuverability, which is good because you're definitely going to need that with a 6.5 turn rate. And it comes with a price to hull capacity, but it already has a high hull capacity. It cannot be activated while dark mode is active. This is basically the same as, and actually it says right here, as previously seen. It's basically copy-paste from the Section 31 Command Heavy Battlecruiser. And then, of course, if you get one of those promo choice boxes, you can choose any of the old promo ships, so any of this stuff right here, and there's quite a few here to choose from. But other than that, there isn't really a whole lot more else to say. It has some more info about the various packs that you can gamble on in order to get this, the duty officer packs and the R&D packs and stuff, but that's about it. I am very much against gambling in video games. I'm against gambling in Star Trek Online. I think this ship looks very mediocre and probably not worth picking up. I mean, if they put this just straight in the C store, I don't know that I would get it. I mean, I would get it to review it at that price point, but yeah, I'm not impressed with this at all. I have no plans to pick it up. I may just boycott reviewing it anyway, just on principle. This is basically nothing burger news as far as I'm concerned. So thank you for watching. A special thank you to my channel members. As always, take care of yourselves. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.